Marriage is something a woman should only enter if it brings actual tangible benefits to her life, first of all, and then she can foresee for reasonable reasons that it can bring intangible benefits. So if she's not getting tangible and intangible, now the intangible are actually in the ghaib, in the unseen. But if she's not getting tangible and intangible benefits, meaning her life is literally leveling up while she's getting married, she should not do it. Now, a lot of men want to clap back and say, well, if a man's life isn't leveling up, he shouldn't do it. Well, I agree. But the bottom line is our very presence levels up a man's life. So that's a whole separate topic. But the reason I'm mentioning this is that the question is about polygyny and my own thoughts on it. But before I answer that, I want to talk about the foundation of this topic, which is marriage itself. A lot of people do not really appreciate the necessity of a woman's life being, the need for a woman's life being leveled up with marriage. Now, I will give you just one example of why it must be leveled up. In many cases, especially when a woman is having children, okay? In most cases, when a woman is getting married, she's having children, which means that your life already, by virtue of you agreeing to have children, this isn't a small thing. You're putting your life in danger, your body in danger, your health at risk. Now, it's a huge blessing. That's not my point. My point is, by you even carrying a child, physiologically, your life is going to be, in terms of your freedom of movement and also your health, it most likely is going to be downgraded, at least for some time, and for many women, long term. So how can you experience a definite downgrade to your mobility, to your health, okay? And even potentially your life could be in danger. Many women actually die in childbirth, and many women never recover their lives completely afterward. Many of them don't recover their bodies or their minds and everything completely like before. So already, and I'm not even getting into a man's presence. I'll leave that alone for a second. Your life already is experiencing a huge upheaval that already is making certain things in your life impossible if you have a child. So why would you get married without having your life upgraded? Now, what a lot of women don't realize on top of that is that in order for you to have pleasure in that marriage, just as a bare minimum, and when I'm talking about pleasure, I'm not even talking about just in the bedroom. I'm talking about even mentally and emotionally. You have to be with a man who at the bare minimum is emotionally safe. The vast majority of men don't even know what that means. They don't even know what it means to be emotionally regulated. And many of the most ignorant of them, which many of them are religious, you know, they say this is from the disbelievers. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, al-anah min Allah, wal-ajalah min ash-shaytan, which basically, I'm not going to get into all of it right now, but if you were to translate it into mental health language, it would be nervous system regulation and calm is from Allah, and nervous system dysregulation is from shaitan. Now, how it's usually translated is calm, focus, and clarity of judgment is from Allah, and haste is from shaitan. However, if you look at the meaning of anah in Arabic, if you look up any Arabic dictionaries, all of them point to, no matter what words you use, they all point to and necessitate emotional regulation. Whereas ajala, which is translated as haste, it necessitates an underlying emotional dysregulation or nervous system dysregulation. So al-anah, which is nervous system regulation, is from Allah. Wal ajala, nervous system dysregulation, is from shaitan. Many men are showing up with nervous system dysregulation. And many women are being ultimately dysregulated worse in the marriage. Now, this doesn't mean a woman can't show up dysregulated, by the way, but the man is the leader. So, and even in attachment theory, for example, one of the things they say is that if there's one partner who has a secure attachment, it can help like co-regulate that relationship as long as that other person is taking responsibility for themselves. And if the man is the leader, he should make sure that he's the one showing up, having the heavier responsibility to show up with that secure attachment. Okay. Now, I'm saying all that to say, what does this have to do with polygyny? Polygyny just amplifies that 100%. A woman should never go into polygyny unless it's like multiply, like exponentially increasing. Okay, I hope you all can hear me. I get these motorcycles riding by, but exponentially increasing her life and goodness. What is true for monogamy is multiplied in polygyny for, I hope, obvious reasons. Now, the question is, this is a really good question, is did I struggle with it? Yes, I did. And at the same time, one of the ways that I worked through my struggle, and I don't suggest this for anybody, but I'm just telling you the truth, and those of you who've known me for many years, you know this about me, is that I encouraged and supported my husband, my first marriage, to have another wife. So I experienced polygyny as a first wife. And then in my second marriage, I experienced polygyny as a second wife. I think polygyny is one of the most difficult trials for a woman. I don't recommend it. At the same time, if a woman is going to get into it, I say that it better have tangible benefits and intangible benefits out of this world for you, whatever that means for you. Okay? Now, if you all are interested, I can do a whole event privately for women talking about the lessons I learned about polygyny and the complexities of it. If anyone's watching and you would like that, just say yes. Please do the event, or just say yes or whatever. So I'm just asking, would you like that? Because it gets really complex. I will say one of the things I learned about polygyny is that polygyny will expose the heart and the mindset of a man. A lot of men, if they're honest with themselves, they learn a lot about themselves in polygyny. And I'm not talking about in necessarily a good way. One of the things I will say I've learned in polygyny is letting a man expose himself. I'll just put it that way, meaning expose his character. Because many men with polygyny, it's like it exposes their dysregulation, their unhealed trauma, and their need to keep chasing women because they don't want to face themselves. And you'll see this especially with men who seek women without being able to take care of them. And so they'll find a woman who will agree to not be taken care of because she's gone through trauma, she has low self-esteem, and all these sorts of things. And women will give them a chance. And it's a never-ending hamster wheel, a revolving door, I should say. But yes, I struggled with it. But I think in order to explain my journey through it, would I ever do it again? I don't think so. I mean, it would have to be a divine sign. I don't think so. I don't even think I would ever get married again, but Allah, is the best knower. I'm open to, what Allah has in store. But right now, my plan is to never be married unless Allah shows a divine sign, and to definitely never enter polygyny unless it's like some amazingly beneficial thing, which, you know what? Would you all like an event? Just type yes, inshallah. We'll talk.